You're severely angry. Your mind races, thinking of your troubled childhood. You're sweating due to the amount of hatred you have racing through your veins. School kids kept pointing and laughing at you because you had a square blockhead, a clean haircut, and a high-pitched voice. But that was long ago. You try to move past it. You wipe the sweat from your brow and your upper lip, put on a smile, and take a look at the UFC roster as to who you can take your anger out on. There are many candidates you can fight. You didn't notice that they're all black until the internet called you out, so you need to chill. So you pick Brazilians. It's not the same. However, you feel that it is close enough. A few days have passed, and Jean Silva asks to fight, and you jump for joy, thinking of the punishment you're gonna put on this guy, and the people can't keep calling you racist because of it. You are Drew Dober, and this is the Casual's Guide. Drew Dober is a fighter on the come up. He is in his physical prime. Being 25 years old, he is widely loved due to his fighting style being a brawler with KO power. He is widely loved due to his fighting style being a brawler with knockout power. Dober made his pro debut back in 2009, but it wasn't your typical story. Dober had a 1-2 record in his first 3 fights, but he started making a name for himself when he got signed to Bellator and got a first round submission against Nick Nolte in the very first round. He then went on to KO his next 3 opponents. Dober then went on to achieve his first decision win in Titan FC, but he would face a loss tougher than ever before when he went up against Ramiro Hernandez, getting knocked out in the very first round, just 2 minutes and 29 seconds in. Then Dober went on a streak, winning 3 fights, but went up against a former UFC fighter in Will Brooks. He lost due to a unanimous decision, but that wasn't close to the end. He went on his longest win streak, being 5 wins in a row, and 3 of those were finishes. And he made his UFC debut way back in 2013, when his 5-fight win streak would unfortunately end when he went up and fought Sean Spencer, where he took a unanimous decision loss. He then went on to fight Nick Hine and also lost a tough unanimous decision loss. It was looking bleak for Dober, but he got another shot and won his next fight against Jamie Varner in a spectacular rear naked choke finish in the very first round, less than 2 minutes in. Dober went on to fight Leonardo Silva, where he would lose by submission. However, that loss was overturned into a no contest by CAB MMA because Dober never tapped and never went out. It was just a bad stoppage. Even the big man Dana White mentioned it, but Dober's bad luck did not end there. He would get choked out in his very next fight. Then Dober went on to win his next 2 fights. However, after that, Dober went on to fight a veteran and Brazilian fan favorite, Oliver Aubin Mercier, where he got choked out in the second round. But Dober went on to win 3 fights in a row until he went up against a widely respected veteran in Beneil Dariush, where he got armbarred in the second round. Then Dober went on another win streak, beating Marco Polo Reyes. Then he KO'd Nasrat Haqparast in the first minute of the first round, which garnered Dober a ton of fans, a lot of respect with the MMA viewers, because Nasrat was thought of as the next big thing until he ran into Dober. Then Dober got another huge win when he KO'd Alexander the Great Hernandez in the second round. At this point, everyone was singing praise for Dober, but his next matchup was against current champion and protege in Islam Makhachev, where he got choked out in the third round, and he fought Brad Riddell after that and lost a decision. But then he fought a giant prospect with a ton of hype in Terrence McKinney. This was a spectacular fight that had both fighters getting dropped multiple times until the knockout finish. Still in the very first round, and Dober won that slugfest. Highly recommend you go and rewatch that fight. Then Dober went on to knock out Rafael Alves in the 3rd round after Alves was taunting Dober, and Dober finished him with a body shot. Then he fought another fan favorite in Bobby Green, and he knocked out Bobby Green in the 2nd round, but then tragedy struck once again, and he would face off against Matt Steamroller Farvola, also a heavy hitter, and Dober got knocked out for the 2nd time in his career in the 2nd round. He would then go on to fight Ricky Glenn and knocked him out in the 1st round just 2 minutes in. And that brings you to his last fight against Renato Money Moicano, where he would lose the decision. Now he is set to face Jean Silva, who's another hyped up prospect on the come up. Dober has a decent record of 27 wins, 13 losses. 14 of those wins have been by knockout and 6 wins by submission. And he has 7 decision wins. Dober's 13 losses have been by 2 by knockout, 4 by submission, and 7 decision losses. And then there's that 1 no contest. Now we will take a gander into the up and coming Lord Jean Silva. Silva is 7 years younger than Dober. That makes him 27 years old. He trains out of Fighting Nerds Gym, which is a gym with a ton of upcoming prospects. And that also explains his goofy glasses. Silva boasts a good record of 13 wins and 2 losses with a knockout rate of 77% and a submission rate of 15%. And only 1 fight has gone to a decision, which he won. Both of his losses have been by way of decision, so he's never been finished in his career. Silva made his pro debut back in 2016 and had an extremely fast knockout in just 15 seconds into the very first round against Lorenzo Rodriguez. But it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, because in just his first 5 fights, he had 2 of those fights be losses. His last loss being in 2018. He racked up a very impressive 7-fight win streak before getting his chance on the famous show Dana White's Contender Series in September of 2023. That was his one and only win that went to the judges, was on that show. In his UFC debut, he fought Weston Wilson and knocked him out in just 4 minutes into the first round. Then, just last week, Silva got a huge win over Charles Jourdain by way of knockout in the 2nd round, just 1 minute in. Safe to say, Dober has his hands full with this matchup, but you can't overlook the crafty vet in Dober. He has way more experience. He has faced adversity many times, and Dober has been on the big stage with more hype multiple times. With that being said, Silva has a real chance to put Dober away and show the fans that he is the next big thing at lightweight. Neither fighter has a good track record if the fight goes to a decision, so it's likely to end in a knockout. But who will get the finish July 13th? Right now, I'm leaning towards Silva just because of his youth and momentum. But I'd be silly to overlook Dober with his chin. And don't forget, Dober has the most knockouts in the history of the lightweight division, surpassing the likes of Dustin Poirier, Donald Cerrone, and Justin Gaethje. So will Dober's insane record get boosted more, or will Jean Silva knock out the Knockout King? If you enjoyed the video, be sure to support the channel and subscribe and leave a like. And I hope you guys have a great week.